Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. We got to talk about the Bachelorette premiere, season 18.
Here
Michelle.
we are. Michelle is back with us as the Bachelorette. So exciting. But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.
Please. And if you want to support us on Patreon, we are there as well. Patreon.com/Nerdtainment. There's a link in the description.
Join us. Hi, everybody.
Hi,
Well, now,
guys.
this is David's jam. This is his show. And y'all, he's got thoughts, he's got opinions.
I am armed with thoughts on this episode. I watched it twice.
Oh,
because I watch it with my friend, and
yeah.
then we're like drinking wine, not really paying attention, kind of joking. Then I watch it again for Nerdtainment purposes.
Okay, good.
The second watch was like, okay, maybe it's not. Because after I watched with my friend, I was like, this season sucks. These men are horrible. I feel so bad for Michelle. Like, she deserves better. And then the second watch, I was like, okay, there's some guys in here who are good, but I'm not overly impressed with this crop of men for Michelle.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it going, well, these guys aren't that bad, David. But I gotta be honest, I only starred one person. So I guess that means I only really like one person.
Yeah. Now, let's just acknowledge there are rumors out there that The Bachelor has been confirmed. Mike Fleiss, the creator of The Bachelor, tweeted out a couple of things that hinted at who it is. And then Jesse Palmer, the new host of The Bachelor, posted a photo with somebody that people were like, okay, so that's The Bachelor. That he posted this photo with the caption that's like, my brother from another mother, love you, dude, hashtag The Bachelor. It's very strange that this happened. And if that's the official announcement, that's not really the way we're used to seeing this go down. But we're aware that there are rumors out there, but this is a spoiler-free channel, unless we say, spoilers for Big Brother, whatnot. So maybe we'll avoid it for now and just see how things unfold. Do you know who it is, Sarah?
No, but now I starred one person, so I'm assuming it's the one person I liked. But you're right. We are a spoiler-free channel. We don't believe anything until it's confirmed anyway.
Right.
So we won't talk about it. But now I'm worried it's going to be the one person I like, which I mean, I guess that's fine. He can become the Bachelor. Yeah. But for now, this is Michelle's time.
That's
guys.
right. That's right.
This is Michelle. Remember, we loved Michelle when she was with boring old Matt. And here she is. We get a little bit about her at the top, right? She's a teacher. We've got adorable little kids in a classroom.
Adorable. And I love, there was one student, she's asking, how many boyfriends do you think I'm going to have? And they're like, I don't know, 10. And she's like, 30. And there's one student who was like, whoa, 30 boyfriends? That's a little desperate, Ms. Young, but okay.
I loved that girl. She was like, kissing 30 boys. Okay, I guess. Find your love.
Yeah. Do you live your truth, Ms. Young?
I was like, this kid. Love her. I mean, you can't go wrong with adorable kids. And then also Michelle's parents. We've already met them, but they're lovely. And apparently they have the best relationship ever. And Michelle's standards are going to be set really gosh darn high.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? Those of us who come from broken homes, the bar is so low.
The bar. Oh,
it's actually better. It's better.
I'm not interested in marrying someone who's like my parents. It's like, that just is freeing. Michelle's dealing with this thing my dad is the perfect man, so I have to marry my dad, basically. I have to marry someone who measures up to that standard. Ooh, feels like a lot of pressure.
That's too much pressure. And also, it just doesn't sound good when you marry your dad. But maybe that's just when you have a dad that you shouldn't go after that type. But so I don't know. I don't know what it's like. But here we are. We're headed to Indian Wells Casino. They didn't say casino, but it's a casino.
It's
Indian Wells.
This is, I'm just going to say it. This setting feels like corporate hell. It is not gorgeous. Okay. That staircase that she's walking down is it's ugly to me. The interior decor of this casino, it's definitely conferences are held here. It's not the most romantic place on earth. In fact, I don't think we got any kind of sound bites like that. When we were in Pennsylvania, with Matt, everyone was like, this is the most gorgeous, romantic place, the perfect place to fall in love. Nobody's saying that about Indian Wells. This is
No.
not.
They're like, this is a place.
Yeah, this is a hotel.
This has
They have beds
rooms.
here. Yeah.
Yes. Great. Well, Caitlin and Tayshia are here to help Michelle through this journey. It feels kind of weird, but this was before they had a host, so
yeah, right.
sure.
I don't know. I actually like Caitlin and Tayshia.
Yeah.
Because they've been through it. They can really relate to like what Michelle is about to go through. They can like give her some tips and pointers. I mean, she's been through it on the other side, but like it's different when you're the Bachelorette. And I actually enjoyed some of what the like attempted comedy that they're doing with Caitlin and Tayshia here. Like, I really like, we're getting like intro packages with some of the guys. We're like spotlighting people that we should apparently keep our eye on, right? And then we get Tayshia and Caitlin like going into their hotel rooms and like sorting through their stuff, which is like kind of fun to see them like, ooh, love the blazer, love the color. Ooh, maybe not this. But then they do find those notes from
well, let's get into it here because yeah, I agree. Caitlin is funny. Tayshia is lovely. I think Tayshia could host this whole thing. Agreed. I think she's got the skills to pay the bills. And then Caitlin does add this sort of goofiness to it. And it is fun to see them all together. This going through rooms is so produced because someone knew about the folder. Someone knew about the folder and said, how do we get Tayshia and Caitlin in the rooms to find the folder? Let's just have them do it to a few guys. So this whole, oh, look at his charcoal coffee scrub. Love it.
They knew. Yeah.
That's just padding to get to poor Ryan.
I know. I mean, I would even go so far as to say, a producer may have told him to put that folder together when he was being cast. Like, you know what would be smart is if you did a little research, type some things up, like take a look at the old shows, look at what makes a good edit and a bad edit, take some notes for yourself, prepare, right?
There are certain things that are said and that are expected to be said every season. Be aware of these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he took it 10 steps further and put together a dossier, right? Like a lot of notes. And you're absolutely right. The producers knew this was here. They sent him they were like, get out of the room so we can go through your stuff privately. And they knew the notes are going to be there and they found them. Like, this is not an organic occurrence.
No. In this sort of, because we're getting packages here about some of the guys.
Yeah.
Is there anyone who stood out here? Or, I mean, it's hard to take notes here. I'm just
I mean,
writing down names.
There was that Chris guy who is from California. He lives in like West Hollywood now. He's like some kind of broker. I made a note that he says that Michelle wears her heart on her shoulder. I never heard that before. Normally it's a sleeve.
That is where your sleeve is. So
he wears it a little higher on the shoulder.
Technically, he's right. The sleeve is on the shoulder. But yeah, I was a little like, wait, was he the one that's originally from New Orleans?
He was originally from somewhere and lives in California. Maybe it was New Orleans. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's the one that I said couldn't wear a mask properly. It was just like,
oh, it was under the nose. You're right.
Dangling. I'm like, you just pinch the nose, buddy. You just pinch it. It'll sit right there.
It's so easy.
So easy.
Yeah.
Okay. That was my big note on him.
We also get, a package of Joe from Minneapolis who ends up being like a major player this episode. But they set it up like, look, it's just another hometown guy.
He just happens to live in Minnesota. He's gorgeous. He has beautiful eyes. He's talking about how he loves basketball. He's also biracial. It sounds in this package like a lovely little match there.
Yeah, like how have they never met? You might say. Yeah, we also get Clayton, who's like the football guy, right?
Yes.
And Brandon, he raised his brother. I don't even remember that now, but like I remember Nate. He loves road trips. He loves his dog. His dog was like in his entire package.
Yep. Nate is the one that I starred. He's the only one that I really, really loved.
Well,
and
did you star him at that moment or did you star him after the episode?
No, I starred him at that moment.
Whoa, you made a good pick for him to get first impression rose.
He was also my first impression rose.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was the first. I mean, it might have. I'm a little biased on dogs, so that might have really helped me when I saw that dog. But I thought he was just absolutely adorable from the get-go. Really, really liked him. Then I enjoyed his entrance and was like,
he's like definitely top 5 for me as well. Just really sweet personality, very normal, down to earth, attractive guy. Like I definitely think that he's going to go far.
Brandon said his heart was full of butterflies.
Is he the one with the baby face? There's 2 Brandons.
Yeah.
But this is the one who's like kind of like a smooth talker, but he looks really young, right?
He looks very young. I wouldn't say he's a smooth talker, but he's the one that raised his brother. He was the one you were talking about from Oregon.
I feel like he tries to throw game at Michelle. Yeah, I don't think he's successfully smooth, but he's trying to be smooth.
He's trying to be smooth. He showed up in a bed.
Yep. Okay. Yes. That.
Brandon. I think he's cute. Like I go back and forth because he's cute, and I was like, the heart full of butterflies is cute, but he's like, he keeps trying to be like, oh, like I got swag, and it's like, but I don't know that you do.
I don't think you do, but it's confidence, Like I think that because a lot of the times I noticed throughout the episode, he like gets a significant amount of camera time, and he's like trying to spit these things at Michelle, and she's kind of like, oh, really? Like kind of rolling her eyes at him. But there's a certain charm to that, like she's rolling her eyes, but she's like tickled by him a little bit, I think,
Yeah. Absolutely. We get a Chris G here. We get a Spencer.
Chris G, like he is Canadian from Nova Scotia. And then he when he talks, it's almost like he's a slam poet. Like, I'm like, that is not a Canadian accent.
Well, he's a speaker.
Oh,
he tours around as a speaker. And then when he speaks, you can really tell he's got that sort of like affected tone to it.
Absolutely.
But we end here on Ryan. Good old Ryan.
Yep. Good old Ryan.
San Jose drives
who
a tractor.
rides around on his tractor standing up shirtless. Like that's
not the way you drive it?
Yeah.
Is that not accurate?
Never seen anybody do that before.
Well, he said I'm good at plowing the field, or I plow fields. He said something and then said ladies, and I was like, nope, Ryan.
Nope. Pass.
You don't then point that out to the ladies. Save it for the locker room.
Right. But this farming is like, it's like a family farm or something, right? Like I think he's from Central California. He ends up telling us. And
great. He's a farmer, but you know what? He's a farmer who takes notes.
Lots of notes.
So this is when we're going to find the folder and we're going to look at the notes.
And Tayshia and Caitlin are like, oh, this is weird.
They don't love it. They don't love it.
Yeah, they don't. But they don't do anything with that information yet.
No, it's too early.
Yeah.
It's too early for that. So now we're going to get into our limo arrivals here. This is a hot mess.
Mess, Sarah.
Do people love this? I need comments, please. Who enjoys these entrances?
I think there's really only one that I can say that I enjoyed. For the most part, I think this, like every season, a lot of them are duds, right? But there's always a few highlights, I feel, or at least guys who walk out and it's like a moment and you're like, yes, like this is one of the guys we're going to pay attention to, right?
Right.
I didn't feel like that at all, really. When I was watching with my friend Sam, we literally started playing Next to that MTV show where people step out of the limo and are like, next, not interested. Like we just were not into any of these guys. There was just no spark for a lot of
I
them.
think it's been too many years of pumping up, like, what's your entrance gonna be? Like, you
Yeah.
gotta do something different, you gotta do something to
Mhm.
stand out, and the good stuff has already been taken, and so now
Yeah.
we've entered this phase
Oh my
where,
God.
no, go back to the
People
classic.
also, they're like low budget, a lot of these. Like Rodney's Apple costume t-shirt thing. I was like, someone bought that on Amazon. Like, you can't get anything nicer than that. Oh my God.
That was low budget, but that was actually one of my faves because I was like, it's a little different, but it's simple. You can
Mm.
wear an Apple shirt for the rest of the night. Can you have your head in a table for the rest of the night?
We literally were joking. We're like,
Think about
does he not have legs? Like, what's going on? Like,
it.
why is he under that table? What is he hiding?
You just have to think about the logistics. You're like, "Oh, serve me up on a platter." Okay,
Right.
but now you're at a cocktail party in a table.
In a table, and people have to move you around.
I mean, bless that one guy, and I don't know who it was, who was like, I'm gonna be nice to the man in the table."
Yeah.
He was like "I'll get you a drink." Like, he was there for him. But, oh
Yeah.
god, no. There was nothing I really enjoyed here. The real fire truck, maybe?
Yeah, but like even that, I just didn't feel like that guy
No,
was made that much of an impression. Like
no.
they're setting you up to be a stud. And he was like a good-looking guy, but he
Yeah.
didn't have this like personality that's really popping that feels like it warrants this entrance on an actual fire truck. Like
Mm.
that's a lot of work to get a fire truck there and like do that whole thing, you know? Like it's much easier to just send you in a limo and let you step outside and do like a cutesy thing with like a balloon or something. They
Yeah.
rented the fire truck for you. And then that was the payoff. Like it just didn't feel worth it.
But my boy Nate, he came out as himself and he said, "Better Nate than never." And hello, that's memorable.
That's right. Yep. It's simple.
That's
I mean, he's first out
all
of
it
the limo,
takes
like prime
'cause he's special.
position.
Mhm,
He gets that like good music as he's walking
mhm.
up to Michelle. Like,
Yeah,
he's serious. You always take the first guy out of the limo seriously. They don't necessarily always win, obviously, but they're legit, right?
right.
So that was good positioning for him. Even like Romeo, who was second, who like spoke French, we were just like, no,
No,
no, don't speak French. Like, we don't like
no.
that. And then poor Jack Russell, who's like the dog, but it just.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
And then
I don't
Clayton with the ruler.
oh,
Like,
stop it.
what are
Caitlin,
you doing?
it's a teacher stick.
Yeah. That's what they see. This is when I loved Tayshia and Caitlin too. When they're like, oh, he's got a ruler. He's a teacher. He must be a
He's a
teacher,
teacher.
right? He's got the teacher stick.
They're gonna be teachers together. Yeah, great. Wait, nope, that went a different way. Nope,
No.
now she's spanking him.
And
I
she's
mean, at first I was like, "Why are they peeking through the bushes?" But then it delivered on the teacher stick.
yeah. Yeah, right. That was very funny. Um, let's see, who else Garrett came out with the cane because he like broke his foot. It's just like a lot of Casey
LT
was
had
playing.
no pants.
He had no pants on, those tux briefs. Casey was playing the hand slap game. I'm like, okay, we're out of ideas, people.
We're out.
We just need to keep
No.
it simple, even simpler. Just come out and like say a cute line to her. Don't play
The
it like an
pizza
elementary
guy
school
from
game.
Florida, just
That's the
like
one I liked. That's
that's
the
the
one
one
I
you
liked,
like?
Sarah, because he got out of that limo in a sparkly tux jacket, like hair slicked back, and he goes, what did he even say? He was like, pasta bambino, baby, or something. Has like an actual pizza dough and just throws it through the air, and it turns into like a big string and splats on the driveway. I was like, yes, your job is a pizzapreneur, and I'm in. I don't care.
What? If you have the pizza dough, you have to spin it.
No, he like chucked it into
He
the
just
air.
had it and he threw it on the ground. So, no, you probably own pizza restaurants, but you
Yeah.
don't know a gosh darn thing about pizza. You just threw
No.
the dough to the side.
You.
No, sorry, David. Not on
Yeah.
board. Uh-uh. No.
It was very memorable for me. We have Ryan in the ice cream truck. But
Which wasn't bad, but I didn't love it.
Yeah, again, it's not super memorable.
Honestly, Daniel with the tiny fire truck.
It was honestly better than the real fire truck to me.
It was. And him being like, "Oh no, there's another fireman here."
I know.
Like,
And
that
then
just made me adore him.
yes. And then the pizzapreneur was like, he's actually a good looking guy. I gotta be honest. He's a good looking guy. And Daniel's like staring at him like, I'm right here.
Oh, but then we're gonna end with Joe.
End with Joe. Yeah.
Oh,
and sorry. Remember, I wrote down Martin Flips, the guy who did the flip, the back flip or whatever. He almost didn't even make it. Like, he almost landed on his face. I was like, you couldn't do one more take where he actually did like a good flip. Like, this is so.
No, this is
where
your
everybody's
first
bringing their
impression.
B game. Yeah.
Yes. I felt like there were several times that Michelle did a like nervous giggle where like this wasn't fun for her. She was like,
She was, yeah. Well, when the guy with the beads was like, I'm going to give you these, you just got to show me yours. She's like, okay, this is going back to
back
you.
to you.
Yeah.
Your heart. She's like,
okay.
No, I don't play.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But
yes, Joe is the last one. Joe.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful Joe. I mean, before.
How do you forget a face like that?
Yeah. He's adorable. And she just can't place him right away. Really trying to figure it out. And as he walks away, have I slid into your DMs?
Is your last name whatever it is?
Coleman.
And he's like,
yes, it is.
It is.
And she's like,
She's like, get back here now.
And they have a history. And then, of course, Tayshia and Caitlin are like, what's the history? Hello.
And she's like, he ghosted me.
Ghosted.
We exchanged many messages. And then I stopped hearing from him. So, but she's saying to Tayshia and Caitlin, I'm actually glad he's here. I'm like, I would not be. I'd be like, you can actually go now. Just like limo driver, stop. Like, you can get back in and just go. Let's just like.
Wait, is that, you're saying that's how you would have been?
Oh yeah. If somebody ghosted me, I'd be like, you lost your chance. Sorry. Now I'm the Bachelor. Bad luck for you. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm interested in how people feel about ghosting. I'm a big fan of ghosting. I think ghosting is delicious. I do it. I've done it. I love it. And so if someone ghosts me, I don't really take it that seriously.
Yeah. I think it's a very personal preference. Some people love it.
I mean, yeah, I don't love to be ghosted, but like, I just don't feel like that is a deal breaker to me. But when somebody who has previously ghosted me is now on the television show when I am the Bachelorette, you do need to question, well, why wasn't he interested then, but now he's interested? Like, why?
Yeah. There was one time that I got ghosted by somebody, sidebar, and then I showed up to a friend's Christmas party and he was there in the kitchen. And it was like 2 weeks after he ghosted me. And I walked into the kitchen and I saw him and he was like, hi. And like, we did not know that we had this mutual friend. It was like very random that he was there. So we like had the awkward, hello, whatever. And I like didn't talk to him, right? Like, I wasn't going to hang out with him all night or whatever. But came up to me and said goodbye when they were leaving. And this was like a Christmas party. And he goes, oh, we're like heading out. We're going to go to an ugly Christmas sweater party. And I looked him up and down and I go, you'll fit right in. I was like, yeah, I got my last little dig. Never seen him since, but I was like very glad that I got a little dig in there.
Just kiss, David. You did it. You got him back. Look, he said bye to you. He tried to not ghost you at the party.
Yeah. Well, too little, too late.
Too little, too late. David cuts you out. You ghost him. David is done with you.
Done.
Move on. Drive that limo right back around. Have a seat. Now my note says, why does he have to stay in the table all night? So that's
Oh my
obviously
God. Yeah.
poor Rick.
Yeah. Cause we're now coming into the mansion. And this
Yes.
is where, Michelle with the mansion, the casino, the hotel.
The casino.
Uh Michelle comes in, she gives her little speech, whatever. She strikes me as like not the most comfortable in this role so far.
Mhm.
Like she's a
Mhm.
little timid, a little reserved. I'm excited for her to kind of loosen up.
Yeah.
But she like gives her speech welcoming everybody. And now she's like pulling people for one-on-ones to get to know them more. Jamie is first here for the one-on-ones. And Jamie is another one. He was in that like tan tuxedo jacket and he's like super smiley. Looks a little old, but she pulls him aside and they definitely have a vibe. She's into him. When he came out of the limo and said hello, she was like, Jamie, I
Oh
liked
yeah,
that.
that
And then
was
he was the first
Jamie.
chat.
Yeah. I wrote down Romeo, but yeah, it's Jamie. What
Mm-hmm.
does Romeo look like? No, not him. Okay. So yeah, I am not into Jamie. I am not
I'm not
picking up this
either.
vibe that she did seem to dig.
Yeah, she likes him. There's like some kind of spark chemistry there
But
that
props
I'm
to
not.
him for grabbing her first.
Yep, he was well
It's hard to
positioned.
do, and
Mm-hmm.
you got to do it because once again, here we're gonna end this cocktail party where some people got no one-on-one time, and you're
None.
just
I
like,
know.
"Come on."
Then our pizzapreneur gets some time and they're going to
Okay.
eat cannolis. And I was like, cannolis are the messiest food you could
The
eat, like next to
messiest.
wings, right? Like
Mhm.
wings are messier. But they actually, I mean, it worked. They got a solid bite each without getting like cream all over their face. But I was like, this is a bad idea. Don't eat cannolis on camera.
Cannolis are so delicious, though, and I love that
Yeah.
Michelle doesn't know them. She thought they were
Yeah.
calzones for a second,
Yeah.
so, but you're right, you take one bite, and then that's all you can do because they are so, so, so messy.
Yeah.
She's going to grab Joe. Is this when she grabs Joe, or was there anyone else
Yes.
here?
This was the
Mm.
confrontation with Joe.
She can't continue with this cocktail party when there is this looming thing.
She can't.
Hello, Joe, we have
Deal with this.
history.
Yeah, this is an elephant in the room here. And she's like, "So what's up?" I was
What is
interested.
up?
It was
Why are
strange
you
not to
here
hear
and what
back from you.
happened? Mhm,
Mhm. Yeah.
mhm. Now, he seems, slightly not prepared for this, as if he didn't think she was going to ask him about this, but
Yeah,
he does have a somewhat of a reason and excuse and just kind of
he
blames
does.
it on the times. It
Yeah,
was not a good time for him, and he didn't know how to explain that to her in detail, so he said nothing at all.
right. And she's like, "Okay, I get it, but I also get it. Like, I was a woman of color living in Minneapolis at the same time as you were during all the George Floyd stuff. Like, it's actually not that complicated to explain specifically to me that you're going through
Sure.
a lot in this time. Like, I would get it. So
Right.
you really should have written back.
Yeah, she's pretty tough on him, I thought. She kinda makes it clear, like, communication importante.
Yeah.
Not gonna be good with you just not communicating. I'm off having a conversation to myself of like, none of them communicate, Michelle. So just be
Yeah.
prepared.
I know. I know.
That's the
But
problem in every relationship.
yeah, they kind of leave it with like, okay, he's here. It's not a conversation where she's like, I just wanted one more chance to confront you face to face and now get out. Like it's not
Right.
that.
Nope. Mm-mm. No, she seems like she's not completely forgiven him, but she's also not sure that she wants to end it. And she just kind of
Hmm.
leaves it at that of like, well, we'll talk later or I'll figure it out later.
Right. Then
This
we get a
is
few
this one.
more.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
we get Rick finally gets to get out of the table,
Oh,
right?
get out of the table, Rick.
Thank God. Michelle has to educate Rodney on some apples. She's like, "You said you were Granny Smith. That's actually the only green apple. Like, there's so many
The
red
only.
apples that you could
You
have
could have said
said."
so many apples. You don't know that Granny Smith is the one green?
I know. Like, that was my first thought when they were out in front of the
Yeah,
mansion. I thought she would have said it right then and there. Like, actually,
yeah.
you're not a Granny Smith apple.
There's no
That
way you
you
could
are
be
a
a
red
Granny Smith.
apple. Yeah.
But yeah, that was so funny. But again, like I think he's kind of cute. I don't know. There's something
Yeah.
about him.
Okay. Well, then we get Ryan. He steals her first, right, for ice cream before Tayshia and Caitlin.
That's right. Right. That's right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they are going to spend some time together, and it seems like it's going well.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah. He seems like he's sharing a story that feels right for The Bachelor, right? Like he's the kind of guy with the kind of background that you would expect to see on the show. Good, solid family, join the family business, blah, blah, blah. Loves ice cream. Great. But Tayshia and Caitlin are like, so, about Ryan.
So, Michelle, we went through his stuff and we found a folder.
Yeah. And she's like, a folder?
Yeah.
And they're like,
specific notes, like how to get more airtime.
How to not be a villain.
Well, now, look, hey, not everyone wants to be a villain. This is...
I actually think that's legitimate.
That's a good note.
And I actually think like everything he wrote down about like Michelle likes ice cream, like all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, fine. Do your research. Like, I mean, I guess the note of like Michelle's a teacher and blah, blah, blah. So act like you're interested in that kind of thing. Like that's a little bit like, can't you just keep it up here? Like, why do you have to write all that down?
That's my biggest point here. Like, I love taking notes. I'm a big note taker. I have spreadsheets. I too would have a binder for anything that I participated in, whatever show I might go on. I will have a binder. So I support all of this. Unfortunately, he took it with him. I think you have to leave it at home. You have to do the research ahead of time and leave it at home.
Yeah, like it's really strange but like, were you gonna like read up a little bit every night before you went to bed or something? Like,
yeah, I don't think he did the research until right before, and he just took it with him.
Yeah. Well, Michelle walks up to him, right? She has her piece with Tayshia and Caitlin. She's like, okay, well, let me go talk to Ryan. She pulls Ryan. She's like, so I heard you have this thing. And he's like, yeah, but it's like not a big deal. And she's like, can we go to your room and can I see it? And he's like, sure. They get to the room. Sarah, he pulls up the whole suitcase. And I'm just imagining like the whole suitcase is full of notes. It's just reams and reams of notes in this like giant, like checked bag that he brought with him.
They have to pack. It's so interesting to see because they genuinely have to pack their bags before they go into these cocktail parties. Because if you leave, you take your bag and you go. And it literally was already packed. That's so fun to actually see. But so, he has to pull it out. And I believe there were 2 folders. There was a red one and a blue one at one point.
There were two. Yes.
He's trying to point out like the notes he wrote about teachers and the notes his friends might have given him who've watched the show many, many times until he's like, I'll just leave. And he leaves his own room for Michelle to go through it all.
To just digest everything solo. And he's then out in the hallway. Like it's very behind the scenes, right? Like they're interviewing him in the corner of the hallway. You see like a light in the shot.
C-stands, yes.
There. Yeah. And he's like, you can tell he's talking to a producer off camera who's like prompting him with questions. And he's like, what? It's just like 50 to 100 pages of notes. Like it's not that big deal. Like who cares? Like I just typed up 150 pages and I just did my research on Michelle. Like it's really I don't understand what's wrong with 400 pages of notes to bring with me to the Bachelorette. Like it's just, he sounds crazy.
He really does. Cause he's like, I don't know how to get out of this. And she's literally looking at the physical proof. I don't know what to do here. Right. Well, obviously, Michelle doesn't love what she reads, and she comes out not in a good mood.
I mean, you saw all the like Twitter memes of the red flag thing recently, right? Like it could not have been better timed because Michelle is waving 20 red flags in a tweet. And she's like, so I'm going to listen to all these red flags. And he's like, are you sure there's nothing I can do? And she's like, I promise you there's nothing. Like, I'm going to walk you out.
I am walking you out. But here's what I love. She walks him out. There's not even a car ready for him. He has to sit on a little curb thingy and just wait.
And he's like, like crunching a plastic bottle, and they're like,
bottle?
it's so good. And the sun is on its way up. Like you can tell
Oh God.
the morning is coming, and he's just sitting out in front of a casino in Indian Wells.
Oh, it was so bad. I felt bad for him. I don't know. Maybe he's a serial killer. Maybe he's a psycho. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he was like really showing who he was. But part of me was like, he just did the preparation that they all do.
I know. They all did it. That is important to point out, Sarah. Thank you. They all did a certain amount of preparation here. Like, that's just a fact. And he got busted for it because he brought all of these typed up, printed out pages. 2 folders
of them. His friends who gave him the notes on these are the phrases you're gonna have to say are now like, dang it, this got you cut out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all, I mean, Claire was like, how dare you not do research on me?
Exactly.
Like, you have to do research on the person. And if you don't know the series, you do need to learn that you're going to have to say, I think I'm falling in love with you at the right time.
That's right. Yes.
And that's all he was doing, maybe. It might not be all he's doing. I don't know, but part of me feels bad for him.
It's just like, fine, type it all up, read it, whatever, leave it at home. And just keep whatever you got up here is what you got. And that's going to be enough. Okay.
It's going to have to be.
Yeah.
Don't get caught with the papers.
Yeah. Right. So he's gone. Our first eliminated man. Yes. And so Michelle comes back in. She needs a little palate cleanser, right? Who does she go? Your boy Nate, Sarah.
Oh, did she? This is when he's going to be like, I am not good at just like bearing my soul, but I'll go ahead and bare my soul. My parents are divorced.
Right. He's like, my parents never kissed in front of me. I never saw intimacy in a marriage because my parents were not intimate with one another. And
they don't
he's, sharing a lot of that backstory with Michelle.
That's right. I appreciate this because I think that she comes from a unique situation with parents who actually like each other. What's that like?
Yeah.
I don't think that's normal.
Not everybody has that. Yeah.
No. Yeah. There's a lot more divorced parents out there. So the fact that he can talk about that and, Michelle needs to see other sides of that world. Yep. And I like that they were able to communicate. Again, I just adore Nate. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And he sort of like resets the evening for Michelle here. Like, after that Ryan thing, she's like, okay, a decent guy. Great. Who I'm like actually interested in. Perfect. And this is now when Caitlin comes down to like drop the first impression rose and like up the pressure on everybody, especially the people who have not had one-on-one time yet. We're getting some more one-on-ones here, like Brandon Jay, I believe here. Do they go back out on the bed here for the one-on-one, or I forget. I just wrote Brandon Jay smooth talks, like he's spitting more game at Michelle. Right. And she's kind of like, okay. But now
they don't go back on the bed. That was on the couch. But yeah, he was doing his like, hey.
Yeah, right. So after like the flurry of like final one-on-ones, now it is fully daytime, Sarah.
I know.
The light is shining through these like massive front windows on the front of this casino. And it is a bad look. I hate to see it because I just need to believe that it's night. Like I know that these things go into the next day, right? Like typically you see it when they're on their way out of the mansion and they're doing their exit interviews and you're like, whoa, okay, it's like the next day. But now we're still in it and we're seeing that it's day. And again, I knew that this was the case, but everyone just looks so tired and exhausted.
Yes.
And it's so bright. And Michelle comes in and she's going to give the one-on-one or the first impression rose. And she pulls Nate. And as she's walking away, she does this like, she takes this deep breath. And normally, if I believed that it were night and they hadn't been doing this for 10 hours, I would have been like, oh, she's nervous. But I'm like, she is trying to get through this.
She's so tired.
So tired. And she's taking a deep breath because she just needs to stay awake for a little bit longer. or hours longer.
I don't know how they do it. I don't know how. If I were one of the guys, I would just like have curled up and taken a nap by now.
There was a season I remember. I don't know if it's one that we covered because I think it was like several years ago at this point, but where one of the girls was like napping during cocktail parties and stuff, and people were like kind of giving her crap for it. I get it. I would be the same way. I'd be like, I'm just going to take just a 20-minute. Like, I'll be right back.
Look, when I get tired, I'll be like, you know what? It wasn't meant to be. I guess he's not the one for me.
I know.
Because I need a nap. So, oh well.
Same. Yes.
You know, gosh, yes, I agree. I feel so bad at this point, but she does it. She takes him all. I was like, why you gotta walk so far? Just go like around a corner and just get it done.
Just do it right there in the sunlight.
But no, they go all the way upstairs into another room. But she is gonna give my boy Nate.
She is.
Nothing but Nate, she says.
Nothing but Nate. She's not going to forget that name. Yes.
He's going to get that first impression rose.
Yeah, which is historically a big deal on The Bachelorette. Like, we have to keep our eye on Nate now because...
Unless you're Matt James, and you just don't understand how that works.
Yeah, he gave that to Abigail. Mm-hmm. So, yes, Nate is a power player now in this competition. And now we go to the rose ceremony. Again.
Yes.
It's so many men. It looks like 40 guys. I know it's only 29 at this point, right? But
yes.
The 2 rows, it just looks like a lot of people. The light, like you can just see the dark circles.
Trying to adjust the light.
Under their skin is splotchy. Their beards are growing in. Like, it's just, I feel so bad for them. It's like 10 a.m. the next day.
It's been 47 years.
Yes.
Here we are, finally at the first rose ceremony. Now, the person who gets the first rose here is also somebody we have to keep an eye on. Yes?
Yes, and it's Jamie.
This is what David teaches me. And why is it Jamie?
I don't get it. She's into it. She liked him at the entrance. She liked him in the one-on-one. She's given him the first rose. Like, he's smiley. I'll give him that.
Sure. He's a biotech CEO from San Diego, California, it says. Great, but I don't know. He doesn't seem genuine to me. It seemed very put on.
Mm-hmm.
That was my take.
But well, I'm sure he'll get a one-on-one date at some point. So we'll get to know more about him. But yeah, I'm not necessarily feeling that. I wasn't like, oh, he's a front runner for sure, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And then she goes down. I don't know that there was anything really memorable as she's calling these guys names. Like,
the only thing that's memorable is like at first Rick got a bunch of airtime, the table guy, and and until she calls his name, that kind of stuff. And it's like, okay, well, so he and Brandon, the guy we've already talked about.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of airtime. I mean, these are just people who I guess we are going to see.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yep, absolutely.
In some way or another.
But it comes down to the last rose.
Rose.
Joe still doesn't have a rose.
Ew, so we keep getting that shot of Joe.
Yeah.
Joe. Is Joe going to get the rose?
Is Joe going to get the rose? We know Joe is going to get the rose. But we have to go through this pageantry of Michelle. She needs to take a break. She needs to go. I know she only has 1 rose left, but oh Lord, I need a shot of espresso. So I'm going to take a beat and I'm going to walk away from this podium.
Yes.
Chug a Red Bull, come back and announce Joe's name and make him sweat a little bit more. Yeah.
Well, there's nothing wrong with making him sweat.
Yeah.
He can sweat this whole series, even if they end up together. He's got to pay some dues there. But yeah, I don't know. Am I dumb? But he seems genuinely like he wants to. Like he was like, God, I hope I get the rose. I hope she gives me a chance. I don't know. He doesn't seem swarmy and fake to me, but
I don't know. I understand why Michelle is reacting the way she is because it definitely feels like, oh, now you just want to be on TV. You want to date me because I'm the Bachelorette and you want to be on TV now? Like, okay.
Yeah.
So
it is questionable timing, buddy. Yeah. So good. Don't give him a one-on-one yet. I say. Make them sweat a little bit more.
Make them sweat.
All right. A bunch of people got roses, 20 something.
Yeah, I think we're down to 23 people now.
Because we
7 people are
lost
gone. Ryan
7.
was gone, obviously.
Ryan's
he
already
was
gone.
sent home. Then we had, okay, I'm going to run down the names here.
Yeah.
Brandon K, who's the guy with the beads.
He's gone. He was the guy with the beads. Whoops.
Yeah.
That didn't work.
Brian, who was the like beefy NFL guy, like even beefier
was he
than
the one
what's
that
his
ripped
name,
his
Clayton.
Sleeves?
No, that's Jamari.
Okay.
Jamari was the ripped sleeves. Brian was like a thick-necked white guy. Yeah. A little bit of a beard. NFL player.
Yeah, he did play for the Chicago Bears. Go Bears. But he's currently not on a team, and he is also not on Michelle's team. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Now, Edward, he was a wellness coach. Is he the guy who did the bowl?
The bowl.
Okay.
Pass,
Bye.
Edward. Pass.
Garrett with the cane and the broken foot.
Oh, and a broken heart. Broken foot. And a broken heart.
And the dog, Jack Russell, he's gone.
Oh, Jack is gone. Oh, that's so sad. So Jamari had the sleeves. He's gone, and he ripped off his sleeves. He was the only one that I was like, oh, maybe.
Yeah. I think he was the biggest surprise for me that he went home. But
the rest were not very memorable. I mean, there were some people that she gave roses to that I was like, we haven't met him.
Excuse me? Yeah, exactly.
Who's that person?
Yeah. For
but they probably won't last, but we'll meet them eventually.
Yes.
So you said you started to like some people. Is there anyone you're on board with?
Let's see. Oh boy, I don't have a list of like the guys. I would say definitely Nate. I would say
you're not on board with Joe necessarily.
No, not necessarily on board with Joe, but he is hot. Like I'm definitely like Joe's hot, but I just don't know if he's really there for Michelle.
Right.
Clayton, I think like the other football guy who's not Brian. He seemed like, even though he had that weird ruler bit, like he seemed pretty normal to me. Who else? It seems like, honestly, based on the season tease, like, coming up this season on The Bachelorette, it seems like Rick under the table kind of gets a lot of time with Michelle. You saw them making out.
Yes.
I'm like, really? I guess Daniel, maybe toy fire truck Daniel.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see more.
Yeah. And who was the apple? Was that Rodney?
That's Rodney. Yeah.
I don't hate Rodney. I don't hate Daniel. Is that the fire truck guy?
Yeah.
I'm okay with them. Yeah. Rick, I thought Rick was like, I felt for him when he was in the table, and I was like, oh, poor Rick, give Rick a chance. But when it came out of the table, I didn't like him.
Yeah, no, I thought he was very weird.
Yeah, I didn't love him. So it's odd that he seems to like, it seems like he's going to get a one-on-one. Like, he seems like they're going to spend some time together. And
they're like in a funicular or something, like making out together. I was like, what? Okay.
So interesting. We definitely need to get to know these people better because I mean, obviously they tease there's going to be fighting.
Of course, the pizzapreneur throws somebody's jack into the pool at some point. Like,
people are jealous of Nate.
Yeah, they think he's an actor.
Yeah. Well, I think it's natural to be jealous of the guy who got first impression rose.
True. And like most of these people probably are actors.
Are all trying to be actors, yes.
Right.
They're all Instagram stars, yes.
Right.
We already know this about you. So I hope there's some decent guys in here. It's hard to say.
It just doesn't feel like a great crop to me.
But we want good things for Michelle. We like Michelle.
Of course. Like that.
So there better be good ones in there.
I know. I want better for Michelle, frankly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking at this group of dudes and I'm like, not only are they like kind of duds personality wise, they're not even that hot. Like, where are the hot people? You know what I mean? Like, Joe's hot, but who else? Come on.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys that
Anyway.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, David and I will be here every Thursday night to talk about this drama.
We will.
These guys Is Michelle gonna find the love? All of that.
Yes, we will be here recapping all of it.
Uh-oh, Sasha's in agreement. Can't see her with any of these guys.
I feel you,
no.
Sasha. I feel ya.
Christina, which one's Chris G? God.
Chris G is the Canadian like beat poet guy. Yeah.
Right. Well, I didn't love his like when he started to put on his little speaker voice. That's not real. That's not you being authentic with us, Chris.
Yeah.
But he does care about kids, maybe?
Okay.
His nonprofits for kids? I don't know.
Sure.
I'm not sold on anyone but Nate. So I have to know more. I have to know more about these guys to see if they're good enough for our sweet Michelle.
Yes.
Who has unrealistic expectations.
I know.
Yeah. All right. Those of you who joined us live, thank you so much. We really appreciate you hanging out with us.
We do. And if you're joining us later, leave us a comment and tell us who you're rooting for. Like, who should we be rooting for? Who should we be paying attention to? Because we're not really seeing it yet, other than Nate, frankly.
Yep.
So clue us in on guys that we should keep an eye out for.
Yes, let us know who you're liking. Absolutely. And we will obviously see you next Thursday for the next Bachelorette, but we will also see you next Wednesday for Survivor as usual.
And you're going to do a Monday video, right?
Oh, yes. We will have Survivor rankings on Monday with special guest Mike Bloom is joining me on Monday for that.
Beautiful.
So that will be lots of fun. We will see you guys then.
Okay, bye.